Some of you may have read some of the campaign literature about President Barack Obama. He was campaigning. A lot of this stuff went out as people were trying to figure out who this man is. And in his couple of books that he's written, he's been unusually candid about his own family background. And what's even more amazing is he doesn't romance it and polish it to make it look like his whole life was magic. He talks with unbelievable frankness about the tough relationship between himself and his father, Barack Obama Sr., and puts out some pretty embarrassing family information. And he lays it right out there and talks about the wound that it gave him to have grown up in a home like that. Barack Obama Sr. was a goat herder who, by hard work, hustle, and a little flim-flamming, talked his way into a string of scholarships that landed him, of all places, at Harvard. He left behind his wife, his African wife and family back in Kenya, came over here to America and married a different woman who turned out to be President Obama's mother, and after just 2 years dumped her and the baby, and the little guy, he was only about 2 when he took off, took up with another woman and went back to Africa, his third wife, where he then became an alcoholic and died when Barack was 21. He was a student at Columbia University at the time. And Barack, now President Obama, describes in his autobiography the pain and the shame that brought to him. To have a father that you knew about but who was basically absent in your life, who would sort of parachute in and be around for a little bit, kind of boss you around and then try to start being a dad again, and then disappear. And then he dies as an alcoholic. And it leaves you with like an itch you can't scratch. And he said, and this is my starting point of my message to you today, and I'll tip you off, it's going to be my ending point as well. We're going to go full circle. And he said there are basically 2 things you can do with that. And one of them is to thank God if you have a good father, but if you don't, to decide to break the cycle. Not to repeat the dysfunction, but to break the cycle. And I want to talk to you today about the concept of fatherhood. Fatherhood and Father's Day in general don't get a whole lot of respect. And I'm not whining. It sounds like I'm whining now, doesn't it? Okay. Everybody go, Some guy on TV was doing an interview with some little kids, and some 8-year-old got asked the question, well, what is the difference between Mother's Day and Father's Day? And the kid said, well, when you go shopping for a Father's Day gift, you don't have to spend as much money. Hallmark moves 2 to 3 times as many greeting cards for Mother's Day as they do on Father's Day. And again, I'm not saying that to whine. I'm saying it to describe our world. Everybody knows why mothers are important. Every time a camera zooms in on some sports figure who just made a phenomenal catch for an 85-yard touchdown, or some sprinter who just set a world's record, the camera pans in, and the guy looks up, sees the camera on him with the red tally light saying, we're live, and he goes, "Hi, Mom." I have been watching sports for many decades. I have never, it may have happened, I just haven't seen it. I wonder if you have. I have never seen anyone say, "Hi, Dad." Because when you're connecting with your core identity, we gravitate to Mom. And it's for obvious reasons. We were once connected to her by an umbilical cord, and even when that was cut, we still have an invisible umbilical cord. In our country, most children grow up with their birth mother in pretty close proximity. Most mothers are like she-bears. They protect their cubs. They hang on to them tightly. They yield custody only with an immense fight. But it is our sad destiny to live in times right now where the percentage of children in our country who grow up, I won't say fatherless, because everybody had a man in their life who made their mother pregnant. Everyone has a genetic father. But I'll call it a home without a dad. 40% of the children in the United States are now living in a home without a dad. And in cities, that percentage is more like 70%. This is tough. This is not good.